Hello and welcome to Dad Got This, where we answer the tough questions like, can Dad cook an entire feast for four for under $75 using everything from Wild Fork Foods? And what do you call a kid who doesn't believe in Santa Claus? Second one's easy, a rebel without a clause. That's right, Wild Fork Foods challenged me to make a feast for four for under 75 bucks. And I gotta do it twice. I gotta make two videos. I gotta do two separate meals. Let's get shopping for meal number one. Okay, here are the rules. I get 150 bucks. I gotta buy all of my proteins, all of my sides, all of my main stuff has got to come from here at Wild Fork Foods. I get to use some pantry staples, butter, milk, all that kind of stuff from the house.
And I have to stick under 150 bucks for two feasts.
All right, for the main course, thinking I want to do a lamb. For lamb, we got bone-in Frenched lamb rack. All right, we also have Australian lamb. That's pretty nice. Kind of tiny, not impressive looking. Now that's pretty impressive looking. A whole boneless leg roast. That's a pretty good price. Or we can literally go big and get an entire bone-in whole leg of lamb. I'm thinking that boneless leg of lamb, I can rotisserie that, and that'll come out pretty good. And it's a pretty good price. It's gonna leave me more budget. All right, we got our main protein, our leg of lamb. I think for a side, I wanna do some seafood. Octopus. I am cooking for my 10-year-old daughter though, so that's a no-go. Thinking
like a bacon wrapped shrimp.
In their appetizer section,
we can get 16 bacon wrapped shrimp for 15 bucks.
With those two items, I'm at about $48, and I still gotta get some sides and a dessert. Now they don't just have meats here. We got all kinds of veggies. I see Brussels sprouts, and I love Brussels sprouts. Let's see, Brussels sprouts, a couple on the plate for 4 people. That should be enough. They got lots of potato options. And I am thinking, you know what sounds fancy? Hasselbeck potatoes. With the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts, I'm at 56 bucks. Still got room for dessert and maybe a little extra. Lava cakes, 4 lava cakes for 6 bucks. I grabbed a slightly smaller leg of lamb, which is gonna cut my price down, and I think it's gonna get me in under budget. And with that little bit of savings, I think I can get some spices. They have spices here. I'm gonna go with herbes de Provence. This has got basil, marjoram, rosemary, thyme, lavender, a bunch of good things that I think are gonna go great on our lamb. 5 bucks. We are back at the house, and it is time to start cooking our feast. The first thing we need to prep is this lamb. I always recommend you guys open these up inside some sort of container, because guess what? They are going to be leaky. Go ahead and start drying it off. That would have been all over our cutting board, making a huge mess. Just a lot easier to open it up into something. Oh, I love them. I don't need to trust this. They've done all the work for me. Since this was frozen when we got it, all I did was leave it in my refrigerator for a couple days, and it defrosted nicely. For seasoning, we're gonna go stupid simple. A little bit of sea salt, pretty big piece of meat, should take the seasoning just fine. Now my seasoning salt is a little bit big. I should probably be using finer granule to get a little bit better stickage, but this will be okay. And our herbes de Provence that we picked up at Wild Fork. This is just some avocado oil. Any kind of nice high heat neutral oil is gonna work in this instance. I'm gonna try and get a nice little coating on there. That's gonna help our salt and our herbs stick. Pick up all that stuff on the board. This is just a mix of green, black, and pink peppercorns. I think they'll give it a nice flavor. Got it on kind of a medium coarseness. Now you're just gonna let this sit for as long as you can. A couple hours in the fridge or outside if it's super cold like it is right now, or overnight is better. But I don't have time for that, so I'm just gonna let it sit for a few hours or an hour or so while we get the Kamado Joe up to temp. We're gonna cook this over the rotisserie, right over the open coals. I think it's gonna give us a really nice flavor. Well, that guy's coming up to temp. Let's go ahead and skewer our roast. You want to try to get it through the middle as much as you can and center it as best as possible. We'll adjust as needed when we get in the unit. That's it. Now we just wait for that guy to come up to temp. Grill has come up to temp. Last thing we got to do is stick a wireless meat probe in here. I want to be able to keep track of this, and it's spinning, so you couldn't use a wire. So we're just going to stick one in, so probably middle to the side a little bit. That should be good. Let's go get this on the grill. Flip her on. And we're just going to cook this over the open coals until it comes up to about 120, 125. They say you should cook lamb to about 145, which is medium well, but most chefs and everybody say you got to cook it a little bit more to the rare, medium rare. Rare is 120, medium rare is like 130, 135. So I'm going to pull it at like 125 and let it carry over cook the rest of the way. Probably get like a little bit medium rare-ish is the goal. See you in a bit. I'm also not going to completely walk away from it like I did last time and let it catch on fire like I did with my pork belly. Once this guy gets a little bit closer to cooked, we're going to go ahead and start on our apps and our sides. We are getting seriously close on our lamb. It is time to make our apps and our sides. And it doesn't get any easier than this, folks. Now these don't have an air fryer option, but they have an oven option, 400 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius, for 16 to 18 minutes until 165 is reached. You can broil them for 3 to 5 minutes if you want a little crisp at the end. 360 air fryer, 20 to 25 minutes. Brussels sprouts, no instructions. We're just gonna throw these all in at 400 and see how they do. To cook these, I'm gonna use my Ninja wood fire, add a little smoky flavor to them. I think it'll be nice. Grab your hopper and fill it to the top, the very top.
Right to the top.
Give it the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets and makes it burn better, separates the pellets and gives it lots of air and makes it burn better, or it does absolutely nothing. I still do it every time. I'm gonna take some of my Brussels sprouts. Now I'm not cooking all of them right now because I have a dinner coming up later that this is for, so I'm just gonna do a little test. Look at that, all ready to go. We'll just throw a couple potatoes. These are going back in the freezer for dinner later tonight. I just got to notice that our lamb is at 122 Fahrenheit or Celsius, so it's almost time to pull it off and let it rest. Let's see how it looks. Oh, I love it. We're getting some crisping. Oh, that looks beautiful. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to double check it with an instant read in a couple different places. Sometimes the probe heats up and it gives a little bit higher rating, so we just kind of want to double check it. Now I was only getting like 110 in some spots, so we're gonna let that go a little bit longer. Like I said, sometimes the main probe is in like a different spot, so you gotta check a bunch of different places. If I pulled that now, I think I'd be quite a bit under in some spots. So we're gonna let it go another 10 degrees. You're just gonna hit your potatoes and your Brussels sprouts with a little bit of avocado oil. I'm gonna use some lemon pepper seasoning and then just kind of give those a nice toss. A little bit of the pepper. Just kind of toss them. Wood fire's ready. Take a couple of those guys. And we're just gonna spritz them down with a little bit of oil. Sprinkle them with our lemon pepper. We'll check those guys in about 20 minutes. That can come out. The smell on this guy is fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a sear over the coals just to get a little bit of extra color on this bad boy. Do I think it 100% needs it? Probably not. Is it gonna hurt it? Definitely not. Little direct heat, little blowtorch. We can pull this guy off, it's done its job. Now, a big chunk of meat like this needs to rest. I'm gonna let this rest at least 30 minutes. Let's make a little glaze for the Brussels sprouts. So a little bit of dark soy sauce. Just has like a richer, more powerful flavor than regular. And some honey. Ooh, delicious. That's gonna go on the Brussels sprouts right at the end just to give them that little extra oomph. Pretty much the last thing we need to do, I wanna make a little bit of a sauce for our lamb, but I don't wanna do your traditional like mint sauce. I'm gonna do a blender hollandaise. This is legitimately the easiest sauce you will ever make. You need 3 egg yolks in a blender. Just get to the yolks. Yolk. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Put your lid on. If yours has the spout like that, it's perfect. 1/2 cup of butter. And you are gonna slowly pour the butter in. Now I used unsalted butter, solid pinch of salt. And there you have a wonderfully creamy hollandaise sauce that hasn't split. Ooh, and is delicious. Probably use a little bit more salt for my taste, but that's easy to fix. It's time to go check on our air frying stuff. All right, our Brussels sprouts, we're gonna move over here. There you have a holiday feast for 4 for 75 bucks from Wild Fork Foods. Might be a couple of dollars, maybe extra stuff that I threw in from my pantry, but not much. Oh, we didn't forget about dessert. We got chocolate lava cake. Yeah.
Let's try a bacon wrapped shrimp first.
Oh, that's good. Straight from frozen, just in the air fryer. My little crispy Brussels sprouts with my glaze. I would broil these at the end just to get them super crispy. Those aren't super crispy. They're delicious, but they could be crispier. Now these guys seem crispy. Oh yeah, oh, those are good. Now for the main course. Still a little pink in the middle. Not too bad. Let's try just a bit of the lamb. Oh, I love lamb, so that is fantastic. Just enough spices and flavor on it. Make it wonderful, but not overpowering. And then you can just dip it in this if you want more flavor. Oh, it goes good with that. That is good. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. YouTube loves it when you give a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. And if you really enjoyed this video, consider becoming a member. Members get early access to videos, behind the scenes updates, shout outs, producer credits, all kinds of fun stuff. I appreciate each and every one of you who is a member. But if you can't become a member, just subscribe. It would really help me out. I want to thank Wild Fork Foods for providing all of this food for me to do this with. And this is just part 1. I have a whole second cook that I did for a different $75 budget with some prime rib, maybe some shrimp cocktail. If you want to see that, I'll link it down in the description if it's out. If it's not out yet, wait and make sure you have your bell on because it's coming soon. With all that out of the way, I think there's only one question left to answer. What do gingerbread men use when they break their legs? Candy canes. Candy canes. Yeah, terrible, right? Dad may tell horrible dad jokes. Cook a fantastic holiday feast from Wild Fork Foods for only 75 bucks that feeds 4 people. But one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye.
This episode of Dad Got This was brought to you by our producers. Thank you very much.